Welcome, one and all. It's everyone's favorite time of year when the spirits come out to play, scaring the little children and giving old people the willies. That's right, it's Halloween. We are going to take a look at some of the spookiest games around to make your Halloween as terrifying as can be.
Splatterhouse was an arcade game made by Namco in 1988 that was ported to the TurboGrafx 16. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up that pits you as Rick, who is on a mission to rescue his girlfriend after you've taken shelter from a storm in a mansion that houses hideous experiments, and inevitably she gets kidnapped by some gruesome gribblies. Luckily, in the mansion there's a terror mask that fuses itself to Rick, giving him some super strength and loose morals, meaning he can go into the house and rip apart all of the bastard monsters that are looking to have their evil way with Jennifer. So you must make your way from left to right, and using your mighty fists of doom, punch a wide range of monsters so hard that they literally fall apart. It's all pretty satisfying. The monsters in the game are all pretty grim looking, and there is a fair amount of gore in the game, especially considering the time. And they all explode all over the place quite satisfyingly when you punch them. You can also pick up a selection of weapons, of which the simple plank of wood is probably the most satisfying, and you can smash the bad guys into walls where they splatter all over the house. Graphically, the game's not too bad. The animation is quite jerky, and they probably could have had a bit more work done to it, but everything is still pleasing to look at. The art style is very reminiscent of the horror movies from the 70s and 80s, and I'm sure that the mask in the game is very familiar to almost everyone. Not quite sure how they didn't get sued for that. The music is also pretty good and gives off a decent horror vibe. Sound-wise, there's not really that much going on, just some basic gargles and grunts, and not really a lot else. Overall, it is a good game, not perfect by any means, but it does give off an excellent horror feel, and will get your Halloween juices flowing. The sequel, Splatterhouse 2, was released on the Sega Genesis in 1992. The game carries on from where the first one left off, with Rick still on his quest to find old Jen Jen. It plays very similarly to the first game, with you heading from left to right again, while smashing the skulls of your enemies with a variety of objects. One thing that is noticeable in this game are the mini cutscenes throughout the levels, like on the first level for example, where you see some monsters trying to escape from your clutches, only to be eaten by a bigger bastard. The graphics in the game have been upgraded for the sequel, so the horror style is even more apparent. There's a lot of good detail in the backgrounds, and everything is still very gruesome. Something that is a bit odd, however, are the perspectives. Quite often you can see spikes on the floor that are drawn at a funny angle, making them very hard to jump over. I almost always got hit by the spikes by just a pixel or two. Something that would have been a nice addition to the game would have been some more moves. There's still only a handful of attacks at your disposal, and it would have been nice to be able to decapitate people in a variety of ways. But the game is a definite improvement over the first, and is still a good game. Smashing monsters to bloody pulps is always satisfying. And then there's the threequel. You guessed it, Splatterhouse 3. Again, you play as Rick, trying to save Jennifer while wearing the terror mask back in the mansion. This game changes up the formula though, and it's no longer a simple side-scroller. This time it takes more influence from games like Streets of Rage, giving you more freedom to move around. It also gives you a larger moveset with grabs and throws now available to you, as well as a meter that you can fill, making you power up, dealing double damage. It really is a welcome upgrade to the previous games. Another big change is the way the game is laid out. This time you have to explore the mansion room by room, killing all of the gribblies in each room before you can unlock the next rooms. You also have a time limit for each level. However, if the time runs out, you don't actually lose the game, it just means that you get a different branch of the storyline. For example, if you don't complete the first level within 5 minutes, then Jennifer gets killed by the monsters straight away, meaning that the rest of the game is about revenge. However, if you do manage to beat the level within 5 minutes, she lives, so you still have the chance to rescue her. It adds a real element of danger to the game, and is a great mechanic to have. As with Splatterhouse 2, the graphics here got another upgrade, and the game looks great, with good animation and some great imagery. There are also some really good movie-style cutscenes, although they are just still images. They do work really well and give the whole game a surprisingly cinematic feel. If you can only play one of the Splatterhouse games, then this is definitely the one to go for. However, it is well worth playing through all three if you can. They're a great game to accompany the cheesy 80s horror movie on Halloween.